Hi guys, Mike back again with part 3 of the Q&A series for my 2000 subscriber giveaway. Those of you that have watched the previous 2 videos will know that we have answered up to and including issue 21 of question 21, and we've got 70 questions to go. So yeah, we'll continue. So this is probably going to be a 7 or 8 series of Q&A videos, I think, with a draw at the end. So we're going to continue. I've done all the preamble, so if you've watched previous vids, you'll know what's going on. So question 22 is Who Took My Dice? Miniature Wargaming. Congratulations on 2,000 subs. My question, what keeps you motivated to continue in the hobby? I think the YouTube community keeps me motivated. I think seeing other people's work keeps me motivated. I think improving my own skills keeps me motivated. Coupled with the fact that it is my main hobby. I really enjoy doing it. I really like it. And like I say, I like seeing my skills develop. I like being part of this community. I like seeing what other people are doing. And I know I'm really poor at. I'm gonna try and watch everyone's videos. I really do try and comment on everyone's videos, and I know I'm well off the mark on that one. But I do like everything. Because sometimes when I'm away with work, I'll watch things on my phone and I can't always comment, and I forget to comment after the fact. But I do always like stuff, stuff that I like anyway, which is most of you guys' stuff, to be fair. So yeah, just continual progression for me, and being part of this community keeps me motivated. Yeah, I haven't had a burnout for a while actually. Although, because I switch it up and I do a bit of 40k, bit of Dead Man's Hand, bit of something else, bit of Victory, bit of Millennium Falcon. You know, I've got different things to keep me interested. So when you say the hobby, I kind of encompass that as the whole hobby. You know, that whole model making, hobby. You know, whatever it might be. So, Ace Face asks, if you had to keep just one mini, which would it be? Congrats on the 2k, well deserved. Thank you. If I had to keep just one mini, what would it be? I think harking back to a previous answer in the last video, it would be my Reaver Titan, just because it's the time and the effort, the money, the consideration I think I spent building the Reaver. Yeah, I think that's one of my favourite models. Like I said before, I would really like another one actually. I'd love another one just to pose it more dynamically, and because all the weapons are interchangeable, it would give me an excuse to buy one with different weapons, and do something a bit different with it maybe. But yeah, my Reaver Titan. Victor Kez, congratulations on reaching 2,000 subs. Thank you. It's a great achievement and well deserved. Thank you. With your system, now I am scared that Nick is winning all 4 prizes. I'm a little bit concerned myself. I think he's got something going on, I'm sure. Anyway, we'll see when the draw finally comes about. Here is my question. We all know that your favourite chapter is Blood Angels, but what is a chapter you hate or like less, and why? So, do you know what? I don't know if I dislike any chapter. There'd be chapters that I would be drawn to, I suppose, and chapters that I wouldn't be drawn to. So I suppose they'd be the ones I less like. And again, I suppose I less like the traitor legions, maybe. When I'm sort of thinking, if I was going to do another Space Marine army, there we go. I'm going to be doing Death Watch. What else? I like Imperial Fists. I like Space Wolves, Dark Angels. Not so keen on Ultramarines, I suppose. But again, nothing against them. But just for me, just those kind of other types of other chapters, I'm drawn to more, I suppose. So yeah, I suppose but then again, I've got the Betrayal at Calth box set, and I'm sort of thinking, what am I going to do with those? Because I thought I was going to do a Blood Angel 30k army, but then I thought, maybe I'll paint up a Traitor Legion army. you know, and then I'm sort of thinking Death Guard, because I've read the first 5 Horus Heresy novels, and I quite like all the story behind that. So yeah, Death Guard I liked. Emperor's Children, maybe, I don't know, maybe. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So does that answer the question? Not really sure. Okay, tattoo for you. Welcome. So awesome, brother. Congratulations on the glorious milestone. Thank you. I can't imagine reaching it. Nor could I, to be fair. I mean, like, you know, we've said it before. We all started on 0 subs, and you know, it's just I don't know. It just kind of creeps up on you over time, doesn't it? What army would you choose instead of Blood Angels if you started over again? Oh, he's got multiple questions here, so we'll answer that one first. What army would you choose instead of BA if you started over again? So if I had nothing today, I mean the latest shiny is Deathwatch, so I'm doing Deathwatch, so I'd probably maybe start Deathwatch. Although I do like, Victor's question, I do like Space Wolves, Imperial Fists. So one of those probably. Yeah, I mean probably Space Wolves over Imperial Fists, because have Space Wolves got their own codex? I like having. I mean, you know, nothing against the generic Space Marine codex, and it probably is better. Well, it is, isn't it? It's better than the Blood Angel codex, at least. More options certainly, but I like the distinctiveness of other chapters and not the generic sort of Space Marine stuff. So yeah, so that, yeah. Who in your life has inspired you the most? Moments when you may have thought about why you're doing something. Who is the person you look to motivate you and to push yourself? I mean, in my personal life, to be fair, it's probably my wife. She really does. I mean, you know, we look out for each other, but she really does look out for me. And sort of from a career perspective, I don't think I'd be where I am in my career if my wife sort of hadn't really challenged me and sort of said, you know, well, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you working there? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you, you know, why? And you sort of think, oh, yeah, why aren't I? And then you go and do it. So, you know, so she really does look out for me and inspires me and drives me forward and you know, and just that other perspective, isn't it? You know, sort of seeing your life through someone else's eyes, I suppose. So yeah, it's my wife, I suppose. Yeah, it's my wife. I mean, in the hobby, no, she doesn't motivate me at all. Again, she stopped eye rolling, like I said, but yeah, she doesn't motivate me in the hobby. All you guys motivate me in the hobby. Watching your videos, seeing what you're doing, ideas and different things. So in my personal life, it's my wife, and in my hobby life, it's all you guys, which I'm really, really grateful for. And I like I said before, I love being part of this community. It's a fantastic community. I always sort of thought that it's a real shame that we don't all live in the same town, you know, where we could, you know, we just all sort of, you know, go around each other's houses and you know, meet down the local gaming club, and you know, we'd probably get on each other's nerves, I'm sure, if we all kind of lived too close to each other. But wouldn't that be cool? But it's bizarre that none of us, well, I think a few of us live close to each other, kind of, you know, internationally or whatever. But it's strange that we're all kind of so disparately displaced across the globe. But yeah, that'd be cool. But you know, there we go. So there we go. Lord 17C. Love watching your videos. Thank you very much. Is there any chance you'll get into the War Machine Hordes game? Probably not, to be fair. Well, no, you know, no. Like I said before, I mean, I'm trying to consolidate my hobby life, trying just to concentrate on things that I'm actually going to paint. I mean, I got to a stage where I had so much stuff and just it was piled high. Spent so much money, and it was stressing me out, to be honest. It was concerning me that case in point, I thought Bolt Action. I'm going to get into Bolt Action because I want a real world historical miniatures game. And I thought I've already got one because I do actually play Dead Man's Hand. And even though that does seem fictional, and it kind of is, I mean, the Old West, the Wild West, you know, cowboys I mean, that really happened. You know, Billy the Kid was a real person. You know, Buffalo Bill was a real person. And then these things actually happened. So I am actually into a real historical miniatures game in Dead Man's Hand. But I got into Bolt Action. I probably spent about 250 quid on stuff and opened it up, had a look. Oh, isn't it nice? Different plastic. Sorry, I'm choking it. And probably did nothing with it, and then ended up selling it all for less than I bought it for, as you do. So yeah, I mean, War Machine Hordes. I've never even considered War Machine and Hordes, to be honest. So no would be the answer to that one. And second question: what other games aside from GSW stuff do you play? Congrats on the 2K subs. Thank you. So again, I'm Dead Man's Hand. I play. I'm kind of foray into Project Z, which is a tabletop skirmish zombie game, and again, as part of my consolidation of my hobby life, I got rid of Zombicide, the board game, and sort of plays Project Z instead. I've got Walking Dead Kickstarter from Mantic coming, and that can all consolidate into one thing. But then board games, I suppose, is my other kind of great love, if you like, for gameplay stuff. And I probably play board games more than I play anything else. So there we go. Mikhail Savard asks, considering how much time it can take to edit and publish videos on YouTube, I have two questions for you. Given how expensive the hobby is and how often you display Forge-World models, what do you do for a living that allows you this level of comfort? And what is your secret for managing family life, hobby time, and being an active YouTuber? So what do I do for a living? I work in mental health. I'm the head of governance and quality for a healthcare company that supports people with mental illness, learning disabilities, challenging behaviour, or behaviour that challenges. So I mean, basically work my way up from stacking shelves in the supermarket to being a support worker for people with mental health problems, learning disabilities, etc. And just worked my way up. Did a couple of degrees. It paid off in the end, basically. So now I try and advocate and make service users' lives better. Make people who maybe haven't got a voice or who haven't got a loud enough voice. I try and be that voice for people. Is what I try and do. And again, I mean, yeah. I mean, relatively. I mean, it's all relative, isn't it? I suppose. You know, how often I display Forge-World models. I think in the previous Q&A, someone asked me what was the worth or how much did it cost me. You know, what their worth is. You know, what someone's willing to pay for them, but. How much did it cost me to buy all the models in those cabinets? And I sort of look, and yeah, I mean, it's all relative, I suppose. I mean, I've got, I think it was about $8,000, $9,000, I think it was. So yeah, I mean, it's all relative. I mean, you know, I've got quite a lot of stuff, but I mean, I watch some of the other guys, and I mean, I'm not going to name names, but you see some of them, and they buy absolutely everything. Every new release, it's bought. Forge-World models, I mean, thousands and thousands of pounds. I mean, I don't have thousands. I wouldn't say I've got thousands of pounds of Forge-World models. What have we got? Reaver Titan, Warhound, some Contemptors, Storm Eagle. And he's looking, and that's about it. I've got a few character models, but I mean, what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 Contemptors. So what are they? I don't even know how much they are. 30 or 32 quid for the bodies and 10 quid each for weapon arms. So call them 50 quid a go. Storm Eagle was the best part of 100. Warhound with weapons. What is that now? 350, something like that. Reaver with weapons. 4, 5, 6. Just under 700, I think. So I mean, yeah. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, I suppose You know, I mean, I don't get into debt for my models. You know, I don't put things on credit cards unless I'm buying it online, I suppose. But you know, pay it off straight away. I don't get into debt for the hobby for sure. I buy what I can afford and what I fancy at the time. So yeah. What's my secret for managing family life, hobby time, and being an active YouTuber? Well, I mean, I suppose it's that order really. The way exactly you said it. Family comes first, and then in my spare time, I'll do hobby stuff for me, and then if I've got time, I'll put stuff on YouTube. So it really is that simple. Family clearly takes precedence. You know, my family's, you know, more important than anything in here. Not that my wife would believe that, I'm sure, but I mean, clearly, I mean, your wife, your partner, your kids, your job, you know, managing a successful, you know, or relatively, you know, life is the most important thing, because that keeps you grounded and gives you the ability to do everything else. And then like I say, in my spare time, and that spare time after the fact, you know, when we're not doing anything as a family, I'll do stuff for hobby stuff, which generally is why it's in the evening. When you know, we're watching the TV in the evening, I'll be doing hobby stuff while we're watching telly, and not really watching telly myself. And then I mean, I think that's quite generous, you calling me an active YouTuber. And again, I see some of the other guys out there uploading stuff every day, every other day. Certainly every week. I mean, my upload schedule, I haven't got an upload schedule. It's extremely sporadic, depending what I'm doing at the time, depending on whether I think someone out there might be interested in seeing it, or whether I want to keep a log of what I've done and why I've done it. So yeah, it's that simple, really. Yeah, manage your family, look after your family. If I've got time, I do hobby stuff, and if I've got time on top of that, I'll make a video as well. You know, so that's kind of my ethos of things. So thank you for the question. Chief Live Gaming asks, awesome video, man, love the channel, and huge congrats on 2k subs. I hope to get there someday. I'm sure you will. Nick is definitely a legend among men. He certainly is. My question, if you could only play one tabletop or board game for a whole year, which one would it be? Cheers, mate. Oh, blimey. Okay. So the first thing that springs to mind, if I only had one option, would I plump for 40k and give myself a whole year dedicated to 40k just to learn the game? Or would I play something else? And I've got to look. Board game wise, a whole year. A year's a long time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much replay value is in any of the board games I've got to last a year. Some of the, like I said, I've consolidated my hobby life, got rid of loads of board games. But playing one for a whole year, flipping heck. I like the Eldritch Horror series. I mean, there's certainly a ton of content there. Would it keep me going for a year? Don't know. But yeah, maybe I'd spend a year sorting my life out and getting 40k in the bag for me. So yeah. Sam, the evil goose Brown. Congrats on 2k subs, dude. Question for me is, how often do you play 40k? Never. Well, never, he says. I played 40k 3 times. Well, I played 40k once in my entire life, which was last year, and it was a draw. And then I've played it twice in store, when I've just gone in and kind of pretended to be new almost, and sort of like played dumb a bit, and sort of just got the guy to play a game just to try and get it in my head, when I kind of had a spare hour to kill in town. But yeah, so I've done that twice and played the game once. So I'd like to play more. See previous questions. I don't know, well, I'm pointing up on the spreadsheet, yeah, but you know, watch previous videos and you'll see why. Okay. We are 19 minutes, one more. So this is question 30. So we're doing about 10 questions a video. So, yeah, there we go. We'll do that. So Rob Zekeli, sorry, asks, well, 2000 is well deserved. Thank you. The one question I have, I am restarting to paint my minis after a long 3-decade break job, kids, etc. So what would you advise for setting up in regards to paints, brushes, etc., getting back into the painting world? Again, love the channel and thanks for everything. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you, Rob. I suppose I've kind of almost been there. Well, I only had a decade-long break, but 3 decades-long break. It's quite exciting, I reckon, getting back into it. I think it's quite, especially the community. Back then YouTube wasn't there, was it? 10 years ago. Well, maybe it was, but not to the scope it is now. And even what 10 years ago everything's just so much easier, isn't it? Easier access, buying stuff online, being able to access stuff, getting ideas. You don't have to buy White Dwarf. You don't have to refer to old books. You can just go online and look at stuff. So paintbrushes, it's the basics, isn't it? If you're getting back into, 40k, you certainly need the tools to be able to do it. So you clearly need some minis. You're gonna, have a favoured army. You're gonna have a favoured minis, favourite system to get into, whatever it might be. So you're gonna have minis. You're gonna buy minis that you like, or that are useful to you in any kind of gameplay scenario. I try and do a bit of both. I try, because I don't play the game. I do get minis that I just like, and hopefully that they're useful if I ever played the game too. But again, you don't need a huge amount, and a pair of clippers, a knife, some files. I'm a big fan of sanding sticks at the moment. I like a sanding stick. They're not as harsh as a file. You get a really nice finish with a sanding stick or sandpaper. So you need that. Clippers, knife, sanding is all you need. Really, yeah, that's all you need. And then paints. Clearly, you're going to need the colours that you need to paint your army. And again, you can either go whole hog and buy absolutely everything, or you can just buy what you need and build up over time. And I suppose that's what most people do, isn't it? You kind of buy what you need, and you accumulate a collection. You accumulate paint. You accumulate stuff as you go. I dread to think. You sort of think, if I had nothing, and I was going to buy everything as it is today all over again, it cost absolutely, well, I dread to think. So it's whether you want to kind of go all in and buy absolutely everything you may or may not need in the future, or just buy things you need now. You buy things you need to build the squad that you've bought, and you buy the paints you need to paint that squad, and that's it. With regard brushes, I was always kind of, always in Citadel brushes, Games Workshop brushes were my standard, my go-to, just because they were easy to access, and I was just kind of stuck with them. In my local hobby shop, they sell a Kolinsky Sable brush, which I had a phase of using, and in reality, they weren't really much better than the Citadel brushes, but I thought they were. They had a nicer handle, but lasting-wise, they didn't really last longer. But it's only really recently, last couple of years, I found out about the paintbrush, the soap to clean your paintbrushes. So I'd recommend soap for paintbrushes. That they really do keep your brushes in good order. But recently had a recommendation to try, well, not recommendation, but I've seen people using the Winsor & Newton Series 7. And I picked up some of those. And they are by far and away the best brushes I've ever used. Really, really like them. Really, if you keep them clean, you look after them. Not that I never did keep brushes clean or look after them, but they just keep a point. They're so much nicer than any other brush I've ever used, and you do, I think, get what you pay for. And again, I've said it before. I'm not an artist by nature. Everything I paint and everything you see on my channel is kind of learnt over time. I'm not a natural artist, so I need all the help I can get, really. And I know, I'm sure an artist, worth his salt. I'm sure an heavy metal painter could paint a mini with a spoon, and it would come out better than my efforts with a Winsor & Newton. But yeah, it's that kind of natural ability as well, isn't it? I don't know if you've got that natural ability. So for me, it's giving myself the best chance of producing a quality paint job. So yeah, so spend. And again, what you can afford. Spend what you can afford. Buy. For brushes, I'd buy the best you can afford. Paints, you're going to have a preferred range. But again, depending on how much money you've got, just buy what you need. But certainly to build your minis, to build your squads, clippers, clippers, knife, hobby knife, files, sanding sticks, and glue. You're going to want some glue to put it all together. But yeah, and YouTube. I mean, subscribe to YouTube channels. There's loads of videos out there, of people. People have done videos like that. What do you need to get into the hobby? So they're quite interesting. And I watch those sometimes, just sort of, just for a bit of entertainment while I'm doing something else. So I'm going to have to track your channel down. Have you got a channel? Are you doing stuff on your channel? So it'd be nice to see you getting back into it. In fact, you could start a YouTube channel, getting back into the hobby after 3 decades. How am I doing it? What am I doing? What am I into? I'd watch that, to be fair. So there we go. We're up to and including question for issue. I keep saying issue because I talk about being up to and including issue whatever for Victory and Nature and Millennium Falcon. So we're up to and including question. I was going to say it again. Question 30 or 25 minutes. So that's it for this one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.